as kids head back to school, some educators are changing direction on artificial intelligence in classrooms. While some schools initially banned AI tools like ChatGPT over fears of cheating and plagiarism, many are now taking a different approach, saying schools have to adapt. Teach for America CEO Aneesh Sohoni is here with more on that. Aneesh, thanks so much for joining us. Teach for America trains thousands of teachers across the country. So what are they telling you about their experience with AI in the classroom?
Well, thanks for having me, Diane. It's so good to be here as we get back to school this year. I think a lot about my role as CEO at Teach for America, where I get to travel across 300 urban and rural communities and talk to educators, and also my role as a dad. And I want to make sure that everyone has access to an excellent education. And what we're hearing from our teachers all across the country, especially those who are recent college graduates, is that AI is native to how they view the world and how they operate. And they view AI both as an opportunity to help them as teachers in the classroom to really help solve some of their thorniest challenges, and also as an opportunity for students to make sure that all students have access to AI and not just some students.
Now, one teacher tells ABC News that they were spending more time trying to catch their students using AI than actually giving feedback on the students' work. So how can teachers walk this line of making sure their students are using AI as a learning tool, but not to actually do the work for them?
Sure. Let me give you an example of a classroom I had the opportunity to visit in Washington, D.C. at Simon Elementary, where one of our teachers Aaliyah Williams, was using AI to support her students with phonics instruction. She was able to ensure that all students were able to sound out the letters that they were working on, and where they were struggling, to differentiate the instruction and make sure students got access to specifically what they need. And so that's a perfect example of a way you can use AI to actually help enhance learning in the classroom.
What sort of training are you giving your teachers when it comes to using AI?
Yeah, all of our new teachers, we call them core members, come in and they're trained on how to use AI, not just in terms of how to use AI to put in prompts to solve problems for them, but rather how they can use AI as a tool, as an opportunity for them to solve some of their hardest problems. It can help them with reviewing student assignments and grading, can help them analyze data. And the benefit and the opportunity of that is it allows teachers to save time so that they can focus on what they're most uniquely positioned to do, to develop lesson plans that are engaging, to really focus on the value of human engagement and personal connection with students, so that students feel like the classroom environment is one that works for them.
Now, Teach for America aims to address differences in academic performance due to things like socioeconomic differences. Do you think AI could help solve that problem, or do you worry it'll make it worse?
Look, for 35 years, we have been focused on ensuring that all students, and especially those who are furthest from opportunity, have access to an excellent education. AI is one of many tools and many things that are necessary for students to be able to live a future filled with possibility. We also know things like the science of reading and making sure students are taught how to read and can read on grade level by third grade so they can read to enjoy the world and build knowledge is critically important. We know there are other interventions like high dosage tutoring. We at Teach for America run a program called the Ignite Fellowship, where students can work in small groups where they may need some extra support on reading and math. That also matters. And we've seen that in states that have adopted these principles, like in Mississippi, you're seeing some of the fastest improvements among students across rural and urban America in terms of literacy rates as well.
What's your message to teachers and parents who say they don't want their students or their children using AI in the classroom, period?
Sure. Look, we think it's all about balance, right? It's important to make sure that technology and AI is balanced with human connection. AI is here to stay, and we need to make sure that AI is actually being used for good for students and for educators. And so there are very real considerations to think about. As you noted earlier, we need to make sure students can still engage in critical thinking. I visited a classroom in Los Angeles recently at Alliance MIT, where in a mechatronics class, students were using AI to help them with their project, but it was more than AI. It was really about working on a project leveraging technology, teamwork, and critical thinking that allowed students to engage in learning that was really motivating to them and tied back to a career or an industry of interest of theirs as well. So AI is important, but so are other critical skills like teamwork, collaboration, and critical thinking. And having a well-balanced classroom will be really important.
All right, Teach for America CEO Aneesh Sohoni, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. And I hope this back to school season, everyone continues to invest in our students. They deserve nothing but the best.